Well, good morning, community. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Circle Genius podcast show, Executive Experience. This morning I got a really great guest for you, Randy Tate of iFlip, CEO of iFlip. And I'm talking to Randy just a minute ago. It's an it's a investment firm with a passion for helping people. Not just educate. They'll do that. They'll educate you, but you can help too. So we only got 30 minutes to go together. I want to get right into it. So let me bring them on.
Welcome to the Stroke of Genius Show, Executive Experience. And now, here's your host, CEO Aaron Avila.
Well, good morning, Randy.
Good morning, Aaron. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm out here in California. It's nice and sunny. It's going to be 80 degrees today and no wind. Should be a great day.
Wait a minute. You're in California. Where are you in California?
I'm in Northern California, east of Sacramento, up in the foothills.
Okay, I'm in Sonoma County. We're just funny as I'm in Santa Rosa.
Oh, okay. You're not far from me.
No. But we only got 30 minutes together. I wanted to help you maximize our time together. Okay. Why don't you tell people about what iFlip is? What is your company? What do you do?
Okay. Yeah, iFlip's a software company. FLIP is an acronym. We are the Financial Learning Information Platform. We're the first and right now only pure AI-driven engine for the average individual retail investor. So what we've done is we've taken AI. We all heard AI. Now it's a big buzzword. We've been doing this for a few years, but I know AI is new now. But we've taken AI and we've let it learn how to predict and time the stock market. We then attach it to what we call a smartfolio, not a portfolio, because there's no human managing. It's a smartfolio. And inside that smartfolio, the AI will automate the buying, the selling, the holding of each individual stock inside of it. What we're doing, Aaron, on the big picture level is we're putting technology in a position to disrupt an industry, similar to what Netflix did to Blockbuster. The way it's always been done no longer has to be done that way. The number of humans needed is not the same. We're not trying to replace jobs. What we're trying to do is give technology and investment capabilities to the average person. The person who couldn't go down to a big name brand house because they don't have enough money. Maybe they've only got $1,000 to invest. Yet they don't want to learn how to trade themselves and go invest themselves, but they know they need to participate in the stock market some way. They don't have enough money to buy real estate, but they want to invest. That's person number one. We can handle that. If you have $500 of investable money, our AI will allow you to trade in the stock market. I shouldn't say trade. Invest in the stock market like a billionaire would, or an institution, using the same fundamentals and the same data sets, and even better, actually, because the AI is doing it. And then for the larger investor, we charge like a SaaS platform. We're like iTunes. We just charge a small flat monthly fee, no trades, no commissions. So we have people moving $1 million accounts over to our platform for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's going to outperform the market, which many advisors say can't be done. Number two, we are a fraction of the cost. So if you've got $1 million and you're paying 1% on your fees, well, that's $100,000. So, well, what do you pay on ours? Well, $140 a month for our biggest platform is the most you can pay.
Yeah, so that you're very reasonable.
Doesn't go much further. So we've done three things. Number one, we've produced a product that's better than what's available in the human world. We've made it a fraction of the cost, and we've built it on a very simple, easy to use, both web and mobile based platform. And really, that's it. So for people that want to get going in investing, we're perfect. For people that have been investing a while and want a greater return at a smaller fee, we're the perfect investment. And we're doing this. The reason we're charging the way we're charging is we have a big vision, Aaron. We've talked about this before. We want to empower. Key word there, empower, because we're a do-it-yourself platform. You do have to click the button. We want to empower everyone, not millionaires, not the poor, not the middle class, everyone, not just in America, but in any friendly country to America, everyone to preserve, protect, and grow their wealth. That's what we stand for.
Well, that is really refreshing to hear, because I'm going to touch on mutual funds in a minute, because you've said some things in my research I want to hear again. But I want everyone to understand Randy's company and what it's refreshing, bro. You're here for the small guy as well as the big guy. You do both.
Yeah, we're investor agnostic. We don't care if your income class, your investable dollars, your country you live in, exceptions of, obviously North Korea, Iran, we don't take money from places like that. But in general, most of the world, we want everyone to, again, preserve, protect, and grow. You can preserve it and protect it by putting it in your mattress, but it's not going to grow.
All right.
You can grow it in Vegas, but you're not going to preserve it and protect it. So, that's the whole idea. And we're just going to stay on that mission, especially in volatile times. The market's volatile right now, and it's going to remain volatile for a while.
Yeah, so Randy, I'm curious, for the average person, what is your firm's minimum investment amount? Say we have the average person that's out there looking.
Yep.
And they're somewhat, they can be intimidating investing in the market.
Yeah.
What is your minimum, what you would recommend minimum to invest?
Well, we don't recommend, because we're not an advisory. We're not licensed on that side, but you can participate in any of our smart folios for as little as $500.
Can be done.
Yeah. You could literally buy Amazon, Tesla, Facebook, Netflix, Nvidia, ExxonMobil, any of those types of stocks those are all stocks in our smart folios. You can invest in that whole group for $500, because we do fractional shares. So you don't have to buy a whole share of Amazon to participate with Amazon.
That is really great for someone like me who's up and coming. And then your ability to deal with the INC suite people is amazing. I know they speak very highly of you, and you do that Saturday Night Live bit, but it's not really, no offense, but it's not really funny. But they introduce his comedy, but it's in Jeff Hazlett's C-suite, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you being touchable, reachable by the average person all the way up to the C-suite. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're pretty passionate about it. My background in my early years, I was a school teacher. My master's degree is in education, and I'm pretty passionate about helping people. And there was a point in my career after about 9 years teaching that I realized that there were a few things that needed to happen in my life to be fulfilled where I wanted it to be. One, I was doing good work as a teacher, helping people, teaching, educating, coaching sports, football, wrestling. And that came at an extreme cost to me: time, energy, money, and lack of income. I heard a few people speak, I read a few books, and I got to the idea that, well, maybe being an entrepreneur is a better move, because if you make more money, money does a couple of things. Money can buy you stuff, you can help people, you can do lots of stuff with it, but the biggest thing money buys is time. Money buys time, period. The more money you have, the more time you actually have, because you have the ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want. We don't think of it that way very often. And so when I start looking at that, the big intrinsic value of it and the ability to give back and help right? We can't give a better gift to the world than their ability to create financial freedom down the road and more time. And so that anybody can get that. The billionaire all the way to the person brand new starting out, only got $500 to invest. We can set them on a path to get them time faster than any other way within a risk category. Obviously, you can go to Vegas, and if you get lucky on 100 rolls on the roulette wheel in a row, or you buy a lotto ticket, that's the fast path. That's the fast path. But that's not a guaranteed or a more likely path. We want to put people on a likely path for them to get into a position at some point in their life where they've now been able to buy back the rest of their life in time.
That's really awesome. I think I wish we would have recorded a disclaimer, but I know you people have a disclaimer that says you're lying. I don't know what it is. But if you need to say something, I don't know if you need to give a spiel on the disclaimer. You don't guarantee.
Well, yeah, we don't guarantee results. We're not an advisor. Remember what FLIP stands for: Financial Learning Information Platform. We're like the Wall Street Journal. That's really how we are, or the New York Times, or your local newspaper. We provide information. All we've done is taken mathematics and AI and attach it to the stocks and give you a banquet of choices. If you like them, you pick one of the ones that the AI built, or you can build your own. Like I said earlier, it's all self-directed. Remember our vision: empower. We want to empower everyone. So you got to do it yourself. You got to log in. You got to click on it. We'll show you how to do it, but we're not going to say, hey, you need to pick, the big tech smartfolio, or you need to take, the red oil. Everybody gets encouraged to pick a base strategy. We call it the ABCs of FLIP: aggressive, balanced, or conservative. That's the ideas behind them. And if you want to do it yourself, it'll actually give you all the information. It'll say the AI would be in this stock right now. So then if you want to use that and just go buy it on yourself and do it for free, great. No, we're just literally trying to help.
Yeah, that is really awesome, bro. I'll be honest with you. And that what separates the C-suite and most people out that reciprocity attitude. How can I get back? But honestly, I never realized, never said, money buys you time. And that's one thing we have as human beings, it's limited. So we can do something that will allow us to buy the time to help people. Whatever it is, take your wife on a Vegas dream, whatever.
Yep.
You can do that. And I appreciate you saying that because it's so true.
Well, it's the thing that we don't think about. We as people, Warren Buffett said this. Warren Buffett said that people have a penchant for risking things they have and need to get things they don't have and don't need. And that's a behavioral mindset around creating wealth. They'll buy lotto tickets, but they won't put $50 in our software. And the intent is to instant gratify or shortcut the process. When we know a tried and true process, long-term investing in known, stable companies is the most likely path to what we define as wealth. And we get so caught up in keeping up with the neighbors or keeping up with the social status that we want to be like that guy. We want to be like that guy. And so, one of the examples I use a lot, and it came out of, actually, I got the book laying around here somewhere. There's a book by Morgan Housel called The Psychology of Money. And he mentions the word enough a lot. And I know people that have had enough to live their life the way they live it, to do whatever they want, and yet they've risked it to try and get more. We always want more.
Right.
So when you start risking things you have and need to get things you don't have and don't need, you create a potential problem. Because if you lose, you're losing something you had, but not just something you had, something you actually need. And so I teach a lot of classes on money rules and how to build investing strategies. That's not a topic for today, but it's extremely important that people understand that. And it all comes from the behavior and what is enough. Take a major league baseball or football player. They make what, 500-600 grand a year. That's wealthy to most people. However, if they play on the same team as I would have used to say Tom Brady, but maybe the same team as any of the big name, Mike Trout, any of the big name players that are making 20 million a year, 15 million a year. Well, that 500-600 grand doesn't seem like very much. So that guy wants more. Everybody wants more. And that football player compared to Elon Musk or to Jeff Bezos or to hedge fund managers, they're not the same. So that aspiration to get more, I just always encourage people, for the sake of what do you want more?
Yeah, that is so true. You always are chasing something you may not need. You just have enough.
Yeah.
And it really is really the pinnacle of life is you just have enough. You can live it. See, to me, first of all, my dream, my passion, my drive. I want my financial view on because Trish Ben, as you know, is very adamant about saying what's success to you.
Yep.
You don't know it is, you've already failed. Well, I sat and I thought about what I consider success. Yes, it is time and money, but my real success is making my wife's dreams all come true. And that takes money. And so I'm excited about that. But I only got a few minutes. We got 10 minutes left already, 15 minutes left. But you said something that really kind of set me back a little bit. And I've been trained and taught as a child, as a kid, mutual funds, long term. And I want to hear you were saying something in some research I was doing on you. And mutual funds are not what they were turned out to be. That was basically, I don't want to say false teaching, but it kind of was. You were being misled. Is that so? Tell me about mutual funds?
All right, let me talk about mutual funds for a second. I'm going to lump it into the whole process. Okay. So if you go back to when mutual funds started and their intention, so let's start with their intention. Their intention was to help people mitigate risk by putting a large number of stocks together to trade as a unit, basically, the fund, the mutual fund, knowing that the thought process was if you have a whole bunch of them, some might go up, some might go down, but you'll be less risky in the process. So that's where we started. In principle, great idea. Doesn't work anymore. Worked great back in the 50s and 60s. Doesn't work great now. Why? Two things. One, diversification. I'm going to say this very clearly, Aaron. I want everybody watching to understand this. Diversification in the stock market for the purpose of mitigating risk is not real. That is not how you mitigate risk. In fact, the more diversified you become, the more your portfolio will behave like the market itself. And when I'm saying the market itself, I'm speaking about the S&P 500. That's our what do you call that? That's our baseline.
Standard, yeah.
Yes. So if I'm going to perform like the S&P 500 in that mutual fund, and we know that that's their goal, is to perform like that, that eliminates the need for the mutual fund. Because now with ETFs, if I want to be equal to the S&P 500, I can go down, get an E-Trade account for free or a Flip account for free, and put all my money in the S&P 500. It's called the SPY, and then pay no fees. So here's the problem with mutual funds in the industry. In historical times, it's taken a lot of people to actually participate your money in the market. So first I get my advisor. Let me tell you about advisors. No offense, advisors. You have good intentions.
Huh.
However, the way the industry is structured is no longer needed. The advisor charges you a fee to advise you. Almost always, that advisor works with a money manager who also gets a fee. That money manager, oftentimes, particularly at the big houses, which is who the independents use as well, they then put your money into those mutual funds, Aaron. So this is where the mutual funds come into place. The money manager or the advisor, they are not managing money. They're putting it into a fund to diversify risk and manage itself. Now, here's the kicker. The fund itself also charges a fee. So you're paying 3 fees to manage risk through diversification that could be taken care of on a free account on E-Trade. And in fact, over time, outperform most of those funds.
Oh my God.
So it's not the purpose of a mutual fund. I get where it came from, but that's not the way the industry works. A mutual fund is the equivalent of paying late fees at Blockbuster because you returned late or you didn't rewind. It's just no longer needed. However, buying and holding as a strategy that advisors preach is good. That's accurate. It's very valued. However, we are now in that transition period where we have robo advisors. So we all think robo advisors are AI. They're not. I'm going to give you a lesson on this in the same conversation here.
Great.
Robo advisors are mathematical algorithms that will automate with a computer. So you have less people, you pay less fees, you're getting closer. That was the in-between step between mutual funds and advisors and us. You have the robo advisors, just algorithmic. And algorithmic is good. That's actually better than the old model where they may put you in a fund. Again, still same fees, still same stuff, but you're doing better because it's moving you in and out, supposed to be. However, we are not, although we have algorithms, we are not algorithmic. Big difference. Algorithmic versus AI, machine learning, right? The machine learning is a lot different. How? An algorithm, let me give you a perfect example of an algorithm. You could write an algorithm, any of us could do it, that says if Apple goes up $1 at any time, buy it, or if it goes down $1, sell it. Turn the computer on, and the computer will do that all day long. No problem. That's really good. However, if that's going to change, I, the human, have to change it. If I want to make it $2, now I go make Apple $2 up, $2 down, and then let the computer buy and sell. That is what robo advisors do. That's what robo traders do. And so now we went from lots of now those advisors I was talking about, they're now using robos, again, fee, still more expensive, still diversified, better than a mutual fund. A mutual fund is the bottom feeder of all financial instruments. I'll say that again. It's the bottom feeder. It is the sucker fish that eats the garbage. However, it's what most of the term gets overused, but it's where advisors put people because that's all they know. So now as we move through that path, now we look at the growth of technology. We have AI. You'll see other places out there talk about AI and say they have AI. They have algorithms. They're calling an algorithmic system AI. Algorithm starts with an A. I guess technically they are all right. If it's algorithmically intelligent, then okay, I can't argue with them, but it's not artificial and it doesn't learn. The way it works on our platform, every stock inside the Smartfolio has an algorithm on it. That algorithm, though, has been programmed and running for years, but there's something very different. there's an artificial intelligence component over the top of it that the algorithm must get approval from every day. The algorithm looks up to the AI and says, is this good to buy? Is this good to sell? Do I want to hold it? Do I want to sell it? Do I want to leave the money in cash? The AI will then approve the algorithm, not a human. And the AI is fed thousands of data points of information every single day that it processes. And every morning before the market opens, it looks at what the algorithms want to do and says, you can do that, you can do that, you can do that. But you two over there, no, I'm going to override you. I know the algorithm says to buy, but no, we're not going to let you buy. We'll check again tomorrow. And that is the idea. And the AI, since we started in 2016, our AI is 120% ahead of the S&P 500, trading the S&P 500. And so that's the idea. How does it do that? This is the next, I know we're running low on time. I just want to get this last piece in mutual funds. Mutual funds, here's what they'll do. They'll wait to the end of the quarter or the half year, whatever month, whatever their term is, and they will look at their underperforming stocks, the ones that did bad. They'll sell them. They'll go look at some they don't own that were performing well. They'll buy them, and then they'll claim that as the portfolio at the end of the quarter. It's called window dressing. They do it all the time. And so they're just trying to paint a picture for you to see, to look good, when at the end of the day, they're not doing anything except you're paying them money to buy and hold a bunch of stuff that's built to behave like the S&P 500. And so when you start adding in costs, it's the three things, remember: better, easier to use, less expensive. When you can do those three things, you can start to make real change. And I make that Blockbuster Netflix comparison a lot. We are the Netflix of this industry. And so we're just getting going. We're pretty young. We've only been here a few years. We've got a few thousand customers in about 9 countries. We're doing okay. And we haven't even started marketing yet. That starts actually May 1st.
Yeah, in fact, we're going to go over to time because I have a comment I want to ask you. What is your opinion? What should people do if they're now in a mutual fund? Do you have a recommendation to ask you that question?
Yeah, it's interesting. They're all one-offs. Depends on how long they've been in, there's a lot of questions. I would tell them to send me an email. My email's down there on the bottom, and let's take a look. There are some cases where it's so long in the tooth and the gains would be too much. You don't want to end up with a giant tax hit. However, I will tell everybody this: in 2022, if you have a mutual fund, you lost money. If you're going to get out of it in the next couple of months, you want to get out, because now you have the opportunity to take that tax loss of the money. You can take that as a write-off of the money you lost. So exiting mutual funds now is a great time. In most cases, not all. So email me and I'll gladly take the time and help you figure it out.
The question was on the teetering point of not being right. But I'm curious, Andy, let's talk a little bit. Go a couple of minutes over. But let's give some attention to gold and silver and precious metals, because I think it's really important that people understand what's happening to the fiat dollar, everything on digital, and what does it mean when you hold a troy ounce of gold in my hand or a troy ounce of silver in my hand? What's it mean?
Yeah, well, it means you have intrinsic value that is actually physical, not digital. Now, I'm a big fan of gold and silver. It's a great hedge. Everybody should own some. At some point, we don't know what's going to happen. So why wouldn't you? It's not going to lose value. It's a precious metal. Collect diamonds, collect any precious metal, right? That's number one. Absolutely, Aaron. I think people should own some of that. I own some of it myself. Number two, digital. Everyone's on the digital currency bandwagon. I want to caution everybody against it. Not that it's wrong or bad. It's all convenient and easy. But I know there's places. I was in Chicago a few weeks ago, and all the little stores downtown only took debit cards or credit cards. They didn't take cash. So the more we submit to the elimination of paying with gold or just paying with a piece of paper, the more that we eliminate that, the more control we give the government. The more control the government has over us, the more ability they have to track us. Why do you think you can't get more than 10 grand out at the bank at a time? They want to know what's going on. It's all recorded. Same thing with, this is why the cryptos came to life. Everybody was excited because we have a non-trackable. We can circumvent government interference. By circumventing government interference, we now can control ourselves and not rely on government control. Now, problem is everybody's on board with the government created digital currencies. Well, it's again, if we're exchanging things of value that the government can track and control, what difference does it make what type it is? That's what I got to get people to understand. They really get caught up in, no, it's freedom. I can move cross borders. I can do it in other countries. I can move it all over. I want a universal currency. Well, that's great unless the government's controlling it. It doesn't matter what you call the currency. If the government's tracking it like they track the dollar now, it's the same thing. It's just by a different name.
Wow. And we don't need more governmental control, although I think they like it, but we don't need it.
No, that's my opinion too.
Yeah. So we're at the end of the show, but I do want to show you showed me something in the green room. The gold certificate. Show people to go back. There it is, people.
It's real gold. It's 1 troy ounce. This one works in New Hampshire. This is legal tender in New Hampshire as gold. There are a handful of other states that do it as well. You can Google it if you don't know, if you've never heard of it. But you can go look at gold backs in New Hampshire. Go Google it and see what you can find. This is the legal currency. This is solid gold.
That to me is number one. Is pretty. Number two, it has value. It actually, the fiat dollar has really, it's not worth any more than the paper it's printed on.
It's a piece of paper.
Yeah.
It only has value because we've declared it and gave it value.
Well, Randy, we're at the end of the show. I can't appreciate being on here. Thank you very much for being on the show. And I hope to do it again sometime soon.
Absolutely. Anytime you want, Aaron, just let me know.
All right. Thank you, Randy.
Thanks, everybody.